two one-loss teams set to lace it up. This ought to be fun, and we're underway on EA Sports.
And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback.
So here are the Bears now for their opening drive.
They'll be led out by a first-round pick back in 2021 from Ohio State. It's Justin Fields.
Coming out of Ohio State, one of the top prospects in the NFL draft, and it was so big that they moved up in the draft to get him, to make sure that they had him. And, boys, he got the full package. Loves the game, big-time arm, 4.4 speed, so good that another quarterback prospect said to him, "What's it feel like to run 4.4? Everybody wants to be that fast."
Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete.
On play action, Fields.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second.
CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
And this came from the edge, and those pass rushers, they have so many tricks of the trade to get around blockers. They have a lot of tools in their kit. This was pure speed and athleticism on this play, though, and they could barely get a glove on it before he got the quarterback on the ground.
This one swung out to Montgomery.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
Throwing on third down, Fields. And firing a deep ball for Kmet.
It's caught inside the 25. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Rashawn Gary, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Now it's Fields.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that is caught. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive.
I do believe we came here to see a game, didn't we? And it looks like he's running what we call routes versus air. You just go out there with your offensive unit and throw the football with no defense. He's 5 for 5 on the opening drive.
He was on his game there for drive number 1, but, well, the thing is now he can't go any higher than that. He was so perfect. Can he do it again later?
Yeah, all he cares about right now is making it 10 for 10, 15 for 15.
Keeping that going.
And he feels like he can get it done.
Extra point by McCann, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick.
This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Veteran Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers ready to go for drive number 1 along with the rest of this Packer offense.
And while he won't admit it because his team lost the game, he had some fun in the last one.
He threw for over 400 yards.
I mean, there's no getting around it. As a QB, yeah, okay. We lost the game, but boy, that felt good flinging it around. Now he's got to figure out how to do the exact same thing, yet turn it into a win.
A throw left side to start out. That's complete. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 11 catches, 79 yards.
And they think they have a matchup advantage in this one. They're going to try and find some space for him to work and make sure he touches the football.
From the 29, Rodgers out of the backfield. This is Aaron Jones. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we've got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now Rodgers. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line. 7 yards the pickup there. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, space to run past the 20. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 17-yard line. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Rodgers to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Touchdown! Josh Oliver, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
We're still in the 1st quarter, but it's apparent they're going to have to come up with a different defensive game plan for him, because right now he's kind of having his way against that defense and has added a touchdown to the list. How do you slow him down? They're going to have to mix up some coverages, maybe change who's guarding him.
Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
The numbers on the ground for Montgomery in last week's affair. 19 carries, 72 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football, give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
From the gun, here's Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll contain him to just 4, second down. From the gun, it's a give to Montgomery. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Fields on third down. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down. That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
So on fourth down, kicking it away here, Michael Palardy. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now a throw here, hauled in, and he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And they string that play out nicely. He stopped before he can turn upfield. No gain, second down. These two teams all tied after one. Back for the second quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Here's Rodgers. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up third down. Rodgers to throw once more. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on third down.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. On now is the Packers punter, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Bears take over. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
On 2nd and 9, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary picks up his second sack of the afternoon. So, Charles, no turnovers yet for this offense, but those sacks now, they're starting to pile up.
And one thing usually leads to another because they've got to figure out how the offensive line and everyone else involved in protection can keep their quarterback upright and allow him a chance to throw the ball downfield.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. Green Bay's offense ready to go again, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He completes it to Hunter. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his tight end, Oliver. And he's going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
They brought in a heavy set on 3rd down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a 1st down.
Rodgers now on 1st down. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down now, it's Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Looking left side, that's complete to Oliver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. The defensive coordinators love that. You got a cornerback willing to stick his nose in there, come up on run support, and stop that pop pass dead in its tracks.
And partner, one good thing about trying to defend that play, you should see it coming the whole way. You see the receiver coming in motion in your direction. Nice job eluding the blocker, making the play behind the line of scrimmage, but an even better job studying the play before you have to try and defend it in a game.
He finds his man, complete. It's Watson. And they'll get him down short of the first down, right on the 10-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they've rallied and made the tackle.
So now the Packers turn things over to the special teams crew. They're on for the field goal try. Rosa's kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Let's go!
Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with a quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. A gain of 6 there on first. Working with his 2nd and 4. A give. This is Montgomery. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. They're firing a deep ball for Kmet. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 33 yards.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one, because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Fields. He'll leave it for Montgomery, complete. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Not much there, only a yard. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. A give to Montgomery out of the gun. And he'll get this forward only for about a yard, as that's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. A reminder coming up at halftime. We'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He got stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. He finds his target, Beckham. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. McCann's kick up and good. And that will knot us up at 10. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. I think you'd agree that looked like the right call from up here.
No doubt about it. What everyone has to understand is that the officials are going to be right on the play each and every time. You may not like the call, but they're usually spot on.
And this is caught inside the 5. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. It's a big play there for Green Bay. Even later into his career now, there aren't
not too many guys that can launch it downfield with accuracy better than Aaron Rodgers.
And that's how you start a drive, because you know they have this play in their back pocket, waiting for the right time to unleash it. And boy, did they pick the right opportunity. Unleashed it big time, and that was also a big-time throw.
They'll look to run with Dillon.
And he'll keep working toward that end zone as he's down to about the 2-yard line. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Rodgers tapping this forward on the jet sweep. And they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. Amari Cooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers have moved out in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.
Takes it at the 7. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense.
Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I'm around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence.
Now a first down throw, Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing again on 2nd down.
Fields over the middle, and that's caught by Kmet.
They'll get to the line here. Now it's also 3rd down.
To the air again, Fields. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he will have the Bears first down by a couple of yards as they're able to get 4 there on 3rd and 2.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this first half. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A long-distance shot before break comes up empty, but now Charles flipped the script. Time for likely one more play as field position becomes an issue.
Yeah, when you talk about field position, remember, if this kick is missed, the ball comes back to where? The spot that they snapped it from. So field position becomes a factor. I think in this spot, you might also want to think about throwing the Hail Mary. You know, put the ball up in the air. Maybe you can get 6 out of it instead of 3.
Yeah, see what happens. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll begin up in Orchard Park. Denver heading east to take on Buffalo. And it's the Bills who have the lead in that one.
And just like that, on we head to half number 2.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. And the half will begin with a touchback.
So here are the Packers now to take over. You think back to last week, they dropped that game to the Detroit Lions. Now they're trying to make amends here as they've got the football and the lead.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Oliver. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. On 1st down, Rodgers. This one caught by his tight end, Oliver. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. And now Cooper, slow to get up. Staying down after that last play. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Rodgers going to throw. Oliver, the tight end, making the catch. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1. On play action, now Rodgers. He finds Watson. It's caught. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep with the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. 7 yards, the pickup there. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And it's a Packers touchdown. Aaron Jones. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the lead now up to 14. So this drive spans 7 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And he returns this to the 22. So here are the Bears now as they get set for their first possession of the 2nd half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors. But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Fields. And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
And off comes to Montgomery. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A play fake, now Fields to throw. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the line out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Fields. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. They missed a field goal in their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Steps away to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Rashawn Gary able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Now we've got a field goal coming up here for Chicago. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. McCann's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the 3rd quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And the numbers for the last drive, and he was perfect, which maybe isn't surprising because he has not missed a pass in this game yet.
And it lets you know just how precise things have to be for a quarterback to be perfect, because that means the line's blocking really well. No one's dropping any of the passes thrown to them, and the quarterback is accurate. It's almost like a pitcher throwing a no-hitter or a perfect game, isn't it? He's the principal guy, but he needs a lot of help.
Time to find out if he can keep that perfect game going here, partner. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 47 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Muscle damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the belt 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Gonna give this time to the tailback. He'll be stopped shy of the 45 despite a great move. Now, after that last running play, we've got an offensive lineman down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Still 9 remaining on 2nd down. Here's Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Rodgers now to throw. This one swung out here to Jones. And he gets it just shy of midfield, but that's not enough. He's short of the marker. 5 yards, not enough. And it'll be fourth down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a fourth down?
On now is the Packers punter as he'll kick it away for the second time. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. On 2nd and 10, Fields. And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw, Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. A well-hit ball there. 50 yards on the punt, 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave him 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Rodgers. He finds his man, complete. That's Oliver. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. To throw, it's Rodgers. That'll be complete to Allen Lazard. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. On now is the Packers punter as he's on here to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to something else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the fourth quarter. From the gun on third down, Fields. And that is incomplete. That one doesn't find its target, but all in all, he's been much sharper this week. He was under 50% a week ago, and now he's up over 70%.
Well, you know it's standard for quarterbacks and receivers get together for a little extra time each and every day in practice. I get the sense they got together for a lot of extra time this week to try and improve that passing percentage, and it's worked out quite well.
They'll score that a 36-yard punt. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. The Packers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. Here it's 3rd and 3. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Fields on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. A shotgun snap, Fields. And that is incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Here's Fields. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Montgomery. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line.
Well, every drive from here on is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Fields now to throw. And that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. Fields throwing again. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. That was sights on it. They couldn't seal the deal. Now it's Fields. And that is incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So they're forced to punt on fourth as this one's away. So possession goes over here on the punt. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this fourth quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. From the 25 on 2nd down, Rodgers, he's going to float this one deep right side. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are right back in this football game.
Don't stop that motor.
Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the fourth.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
The Chicago offense set to get started. The interception was a great starting point, but now they need points pretty quickly, down 2 scores. The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. The lane opens up that time as he'll be brought down just short of a first after a gain of about 9. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Jaron Browning in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Well, it has been a rough afternoon for him trying to get rid of the football. CD, that's now 5 sacks.
How'd you like to be the offensive coordinator, the offensive line coach trying to come up with an answer for this pass rush? What blocking assignments do you change? Can guys play a little bit better? And we're seeing the end result on the scoreboard. Long day in the pocket for their quarterback.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to convert. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers. Drops it to Jones in the flat. So give him 2 yards there on the completion. And it'll be 3rd down. Working from the gun. Rodgers. Got a man, that's Lazard. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Well, no doubt here in the fourth quarter, this is a huge defensive series.
Hey, they can read the scoreboard. They realize if they give up a field goal here, this game might be out of reach. They understand the stakes and are playing accordingly.
Meanwhile, Rodgers' throw here pulled in by Lazard. And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. from the right hash here. Should be an easy one. Rosa's kick is good. And that will get the lead up to 14. So maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every one of them helps when you're trying to salt one away in the fourth.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. Looking to throw again on second down. Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Kmet.
The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense.
To the air again, Fields.
And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts. As they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jair Alexander.
Obviously, Charles, this stage of the game, down 2 scores, they have to put the football in the air. Unfortunately, it gets picked off.
And the criticism comes easily in situations like this, but you just laid it out. Look where they are on the scoreboard. Look at where the clock is in the game. He has to take a chance here and try and get the ball downfield to his receivers. Unfortunately, it was picked off.
They'll try and run some clock now with Jones. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go again to Jones. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby.
So now Fields and the Bears
down by 2 touchdowns. A little over 30 seconds remaining. It's an extremely tall order in front of them, but they've got the ball with a 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Clock management, definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this one is incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Fields. He's going to let it fly. And that nearly intercepted. It's incomplete. Now remember, he had a pick earlier, but couldn't reel that one in.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they're more than ready for it.
Got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. And one last throw here for Fields. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in